Thank you for watching this Bridgewater Now update. I'm John Locke. Last week's council meeting saw a new council president named as Fred Chase was unanimously voted into the role. Typically, this happens following the annual town election. However, the council election will take place later on this year as the precincts are in the process of changing. Now, former council president Matt Rushton was recognized for his work on the council and in the community as well.
I don't know how many firsts we normally have as a council in a given year, but it was great to observe a lot of them. I think we saw the passing of the fire station, right? We saw the pride flag, we saw Juneteenth, we saw remote meetings, and I really appreciated Matt's guidance through all of that.
President Rushton's tenure in this chair is really, I think, remarkable. Not only, of course, we realize that he has a number of achievements to his record that will forever remain, his name will remain in connection with those, but I just think that the nature of his style of leadership is truly exemplary, and it's certainly something that I would do well to try to mimic, and I will do that. And I just note that his sense of dedication to task and his commitment to the council and the community is just absolutely worthy of a lot of praise, and I respect him greatly for that. I know we all do.
Before the vote, Councilor Rushton thanked his fellow councilors for their assistance during his time as council president.
You know, it's been my pleasure over the last year to serve as council president. I will not bore you with the things that I've done, but say that collectively it's been a team approach with the council, and so any of my accomplishments are all of our accomplishments as a collective council. I do want to do a special thanks to Councilor Chase. As I came into this role, I had transitioned my full-time job to a new job. And many times I deferred or would call Councilor Chase in an effort to scramble at the last minute to cover a meeting, or at least get prepared to cover a meeting, and also represent the council in places that I could not be.
Also during the meeting, Eric Moore was unanimously voted on to serve as council vice president. And don't forget, you can watch the full council meeting replays on Channel 22 or on demand at btvaccess.com. There are a couple of events organized by the Bridgewater Communities for Civil Rights coming up next month in front of the Academy Building. The first is on June 1st when a pride flag will be flown for 2 weeks, and the second event takes place on June 15th when a Juneteenth flag will fly through the end of the month. Both events will take place at 3:30, and again they will be taking place in front of the Academy Building. The Lions Auction is in its third and final week, benefiting the Mass Lions Eye Research Fund. This is the auction that used to be on BTV but has gone online, and there are nearly 40 items up for auction, including gift certificates, baked goods, and even a fantasy football trophy. Auctions close this Saturday, and you can get much more information and bid as well at lionsofbridgewater.org/auction and click on Enter the Auction. Turning to sports, and for the first time since 2012, the Bridgewater State baseball team is in the NCAA Division III National Tournament. They won the MASCAC Championship and the conference's automatic bid, and a big part of the team's success in the tournament was starting pitching. Game 1 for BSU took place on the 12th, and the Bears won 3-0. Matt Jocelyn got the start and went the distance, allowing 2 hits and striking out 6. About 24 hours later, BSU took on Mass Maritime, the team that finished third in the conference standings, and BSU ran away with this one 14-7. The hometown team scored 8 in the fourth, including a Joey Molis 3-run home run. Molis had 6 runs batted in for the Bears. With that loss, Mass Maritime fell to the consolation bracket and won, so BSU needed to win just one game against the Bucks, and it came this past Saturday. David Kearns got the start, going 7 2/3 innings, and although he did allow 11 hits, he also struck out 8 and allowed 2 earned on 121 pitches. Joe Frechette and Jonathan O'Donnell each had a pair of RBIs for the Bears, but it was Tyler Da Silva Medeiros picking up his 7th save of the season and, more importantly, sealing BSU's fate as MASCAC champions. And as I mentioned, this is the first tournament appearance for the Bears in 10 seasons, and that was also the last time the team had at least 30 wins. The bracket has been released, and much like the Mascot tournament, this is a double elimination tournament, and BSU will play host SUNY Cortland in New York on Friday morning at 10 a.m. The two other teams in the regional are Endicott and St. John Fisher. And finally, today in health, the month of May is Lyme Disease Awareness Month. With many of us going outside in the warmer temperatures, the risk for ticks increases, as does the risk of Lyme disease.
The early symptoms are the ones where you may have the neck stiffness, the muscle aches, a low-grade fever, the change in appetite. That tends to be in that early phase where this tick has bitten us and put that bacteria into our skin.
Ticks can burrow into the skin and transmit bacteria that could lead to Lyme disease. You heard from the doctor about some of these symptoms that could come from it, but they could also include headaches, arthritis, and breathing issues. And there is the potential for serious complications, including heart inflammation, spinal cord swelling, or even facial paralysis. Ticks like to hide in high grass, so this could be a good excuse to keep that lawn mowed. And there are easy ways to lower the risk of a tick bite. First, cover exposed skin if you go into the woods. Use insect repellent that has DEET. And after you come in from a heavily wooded area, do a tick check. Look on your scalp, behind the knees, and under the arms. If you do find a tick, carefully remove it with tweezers, and if you do get bitten, watch for a small red spot that could turn into a rash that resembles a bullseye.
That bacteria which is in the saliva, starts to multiply, and that causes the expanding rash beyond that initial red mark. And as that bacteria expands under our skin, the center, that initial red spot, starts to fade. So it looks a little bit like a bullseye.
It does sound obvious, but if you are experiencing any of the symptoms that you heard in the story, make sure you see a physician, because if it's caught early enough, Lyme disease can be treated with antibiotics. Thank you for watching this Bridgewater Now update. I'm John Locke.